So this video details how to wire the MoviChip CamSwitch. So we've just got a diagram here. On the left, this is going to correspond to the looms that come from the unit, and these will be braided, and these will be the colors of the cables that are in each braid, so you can identify which loom or which set of cables is which by the colors of the cables that are inside. So we'll start off with the top. This will be the cables that go to the cam solenoids. So basically, as it says here, the brown cable is relay 1 negative, light blue relay 2 negative, purple is relay 1 positive, white relay 2 positive. If you're not using any of these, if you're only using one relay, for example a car that you've got has only got one cam activation, then you can just not wire this up, just put insulate the cables that you're not using, and you're good to go. The maximum amp draw for this is 3 amps per relay, and I'll come down, we'll get to the recommended fuses for these later, just in the next loom. So this is the colors for the relays, this is how you hook them up. Then we come to the power. So I've written here battery, but this is not technically correct. We want this to be a switched power supply, but that's fed by the battery. So we've got, it's pretty self-explanatory. Yellow is relay 1 negative, pink relay 2 negative. So these are going to be together. And then the black is also power negative or power ground. So these will come separately now. So you'll have the yellow, the pink and the black will be together, and then you've got your 2 positives, which will, like I said, switch power supply. And I recommend switching it with something that changes according to the sensor. So be that the MAF sensor, the fuel pump, or something along those lines, something that doesn't switch off when you start the engine. So this is where we come to the fuse rating. So the dark blue, it's a positive signal powering the cams, the solenoids. So I recommend using 4 amp fusing this circuit. This is dedicated to the cams only. So if you I'd recommend using it if you want. It's entirely up to you, but just to cover ourselves, if you like, I recommend that you fuse it in case there's an issue with your solenoids for whatever reason. And then we've got the red positive, red cable. I strongly recommend you should definitely put a 1 amp fuse to protect the unit from any voltage spikes. So that's the power. Then we come to the sensor 1. I strongly recommend that you use the sensor 1 on the unit for a load sensor. So if your car has already got a map sensor, then it's just a matter of tapping into that sensor line with the dark blue, and then you can insulate the brown and the pink cables. If your car does not have a map sensor, then you can, the MoviChip CamSwitch comes with its own power supply, 5-volt power supply for a map sensor. So the brown will be the positive, the pink is the negative. Then we come on to sensor 2. This can be anything you want. It can be a MAF sensor, it can be a water temperature sensor, whatever if you want to use the sensor 2. It's not obligatory. If you want to add an extra conditionality to the cam switch, and then this is the white, and then you're going to be tapping into the signal sensor, the signal cable of the sensor that you're using. And then we have the crank cam signal. Again, all these are 0 to 5 volts. All the signals 0 to 5 volts. The unit cannot accept 12 volts. If it gets 12 volts, it will damage the unit. So you're looking at 5-volt crank or a cam signal, and it's a green cable, like I said, in the black sleeve. And basically that's it, guys. That's how you wire the MoviChip CamSwitch. As usual, if you've got any questions, send us an email. I'll put the email address in the video description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time.